And let's finish this, the third chapter of The Figure in the Shadows. Lewis has just felt humiliated because he saw Rosarita in a fight that he couldn't get into and decided that he wanted to lose some weight, toughen up, and sent away for the Charles Atlas booklet. Lewis kept to his diet and his push-ups for 3 or 4 days, but by the end of that time, it was getting pretty boring. He kept feeling his arms, but it didn't seem to him that any new muscles were arriving, and dieting meant that he felt crabby a good deal of the time. He began to realize that Mr. Hartwig was right. Getting thin and tough like Woody took work. You had to deny yourself things that you really wanted, and you had to slave away at things that were really very dull, like exercises. And even then, you couldn't be absolutely positively sure that you would get what you wanted after all your hard work. Lewis began to weaken. And then he gave in completely. He decided he would take a break and go back to his plan when he felt better. Before long, he was munching Reese's peanut butter cups and taking second helpings of strawberry shortcake with whipped cream. He stopped doing push-ups, and he never went near the punching bag again. Now and then he would check the mail to see if the Charles Atlas booklet had arrived, but it was never there. If only there was an easy way of getting to be strong. Lewis thought about Grandpa Barnevelt's lucky piece. Wouldn't it be great if it really was magic? Magic in a way that would let him mow down his enemies and protect Rosarita from harm. That would sure be something. Then he could forget about dieting and push-ups then. But every time Lewis had his daydream, he remembered that Mrs. Zimmerman had examined the coin, and she had flatly stated that it was not magic. Mrs. Zimmerman was an expert on magic. She ought to know. On the other hand, experts had been wrong before, like those people who claimed that men would never be able to fly. Lewis would argue with himself this way, back and forth, pro and con, until he was sick of the whole business. Then he would go up to his room and take the coin out of his drawer and press it between his thumb and index finger. Wasn't there a tinkle there? No, there wasn't. Then he would get angry and shove the coin back in the drawer and slam the drawer shut. He did this over and over again, but nothing ever happened. Lewis fiddled with the coin so much, wishing over it and pressing it, that he began to think of it as his magic coin. The phrase magic coin kept running through his mind like a broken record. He tried to think of other things, but the phrase kept coming back. Magic coin, magic coin. Was it just wishful thinking, or was there something else at work? And that's the end of chapter 3.